Dear brothers and sisters, as we step into the fresh pages of 2025, we're given a beautiful opportunity, a chance to begin again. The new year is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a call to reflect, to grow, and yes, to strive for holiness in our everyday lives. But let me ask you this. How often do we set New Year's resolutions, only to see them fade away like fireworks, leaving nothing but a faint memory? What if, this year, your resolutions didn't just transform your habits, but your heart as well? Today, we'll draw inspiration from one of the Church's great spiritual guides, Saint Josemaria Escriva. Known as the saint of ordinary life, he believed that holiness isn't reserved for the extraordinary. It's found in the little things, in the moments that make up our daily routines. Through his writings, Saint Josemaria gives us not only encouragement but practical, soul-nourishing advice to make this year's resolutions meaningful, lasting, and centered on God. So, join me as we discover 6 New Year resolution tips from Saint Josemaria Escriva. Wisdom that will inspire us to embrace 2025 with purpose, grace, and a deepened faith. Stay with me because tip number 6 might just change the way you end every day this year. Let's dive into the first tip from Saint Josemaria Escriva. Be clear and definite. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to make big, grand resolutions? I'll pray more. I'll be kinder. They sound wonderful, don't they? But here's the challenge. When our goals are vague, they often slip through our fingers like sand. Saint Josemaria, with his deep understanding of human nature, offers us this wisdom. Don't let your resolutions be like fireworks that sparkle for a moment, to leave behind a blackened, useless stub. What he's telling us is simple yet profound. Specificity gives our resolutions power. Instead of saying, I'll pray more, try saying, I will pray the rosary every evening before bed. Instead of resolving to be kinder, say, I will write one encouraging message to a friend each week. Think of this tip as setting a compass for your spiritual journey. When you define your goals clearly, you give yourself direction, and you invite God into that clarity. Each specific resolution becomes a step toward Him. Imagine the peace of knowing exactly where you're headed. Picture the joy of seeing those small, consistent steps turn into a pathway of grace and growth. So, as you ponder your resolutions this year, take a moment to be still and ask yourself, what is God inviting me to work on? How can I express that invitation in a clear and specific way? And here's the best part. When you make your resolutions definite, they don't just stay on paper. They become prayers, carried by the wind of God's grace. Now that we know the importance of being clear and definite, let's move to our second tip from Saint Josemaria Escriva. Avoid procrastination. Start now. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I'll start tomorrow? It feels harmless, even logical at times, doesn't it? But Saint Josemaria Escriva challenges us with this powerful truth. Tomorrow is often the adverb of the defeated. Think about it. How many dreams have been left unrealized because tomorrow never came? How often have we pushed aside God's gentle call, promising ourselves we'd answer it later? Saint Josemaria reminds us that the present moment is sacred. It's the only time we truly have. Right now, this very second, is a gift from God, a chance to take that first step toward holiness. Imagine if the saints had waited for the perfect moment to begin their missions. Saint Francis of Assisi might have waited until he felt strong enough to rebuild the church. Saint Teresa of Calcutta might have postponed her work until the conditions were just right. But they didn't. They acted in the now, trusting that God's grace would meet them in their obedience. Perhaps you're feeling hesitant. Maybe the thought of starting feels overwhelming. If that's you, take heart. God doesn't ask for perfection. He asks for a willing heart. Begin small. Begin with something simple. Offer Him the best of what you can today, even if it's just a single prayer or a kind word to a stranger. The beauty of starting now is that it shifts your mindset. Every small step becomes a victory, every moment an opportunity to grow closer to God. So, my friends, As we journey into this new year, let's silence the voice of procrastination. Let's embrace today, trusting that when we step out in faith, God will carry us further than we ever imagined. As we move forward, let's talk about the next tip that might surprise you. Focus on few, realistic goals. Have you ever made a long list of resolutions thinking, this is the year I'll change everything? It feels ambitious, even noble at first, but what often happens? By February, the list feels overwhelming, and we end up abandoning it entirely. Saint Josemaria Escriva, with his profound wisdom, offers us a gentle yet firm reminder. Make few resolutions. Make them definite, and fulfill them with the help of God. Why few? Because focusing on too many things at once scatters our energy and weakens our resolve. But when we narrow our focus to one or two meaningful goals, we give ourselves the chance to grow steadily and deeply. It's like tending a garden. You can't water every plant in the world, but you can nurture the ones in your care, ensuring they flourish. And here's the key. Make your goals not just few, but realistic. Resolutions should stretch us, yes, but not so far that they break us. Saint Josemaria knew that true growth comes not from heroic gestures, but from steady, humble steps, taken with trust in God's grace. By focusing on a few goals, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection. Instead, you allow God to work in your simplicity. Each fulfilled resolution becomes a small offering, a token of your love for Him. So, as you discern your resolutions, ask yourself, what are the few things that truly matter this year? How can I focus on these with intention and prayer? And remember, it's not about doing more, it's about doing what truly counts. Now, we arrive at a tip that is at the very heart of our spiritual journey. Be humble. Humility. It's a virtue we often admire in others but struggle to embrace in ourselves. Yet Saint Josemaria Escriva reminds us that without humility, even our best resolutions can falter. He prayed, "The more I am exalted, Jesus, the more I want you to humble me in my heart, showing me what I have been and what I will be if you leave me." What a powerful prayer. It reveals a truth we all need to hear. Success in our resolutions, in our spiritual growth, doesn't come from our own strength alone. It comes from the grace of God working through us. Humility isn't about putting ourselves down or thinking less of ourselves. No, true humility is about seeing ourselves as God sees us, loved, cherished, but always dependent on Him. It's the recognition that every good thing we do, every step we take toward holiness, is a gift from His hand. Think of the saints. They accomplished incredible things, but not because they believed they were great. They accomplished them because they knew God was great. Saint Josemaria himself often said, "Don't build castles in the air." Humility means being content with building solid, small things in the everyday. In the context of our resolutions, humility keeps us grounded. It reminds us not to aim for perfection by our own power, but to trust in God's guidance. When we stumble, and we will, it's humility that lifts us up, urging us to begin again without shame or despair. So, how do we cultivate this humility in our daily lives? Start by inviting God into your resolutions. Pray not just for the strength to achieve them, but for the grace to surrender them into His hands. Remember, He loves you as you are, but He loves you too much to leave you there. Humility is the soil where all our virtues take root. Without it, our efforts can wither. But with it, our lives can bloom into something beautiful for God's glory. Now we proceed to the next tip that covers something we all encounter: challenges. Saint Josemaria Escriva's fifth tip is a reminder that speaks to every heart. Persevere through challenges. Imagine this. You've set your resolutions, and at first, everything feels fresh and hopeful. But then, obstacles arise. Maybe you miss a day of prayer or fall short in your efforts to grow in patience. It's in these moments that discouragement whispers, "Why even try?" But Saint Josemaria, in his wisdom, gives us this encouragement: stick to your resolutions, and the pain will soon turn into joyful peace. Why joyful peace? Because perseverance, even when it's difficult, leads to inner strength and deeper trust in God. Every challenge we face is an invitation to lean on Him, to let His grace carry us forward when our own strength falters. Consider this. The saints were not strangers to difficulty. Saint Josemaria himself faced ridicule and immense trials while spreading the message of Opus Dei. Yet he remained steadfast, rooted in the knowledge that God's plans are always greater than our fears. In our spiritual journey, setbacks are inevitable, but perseverance transforms them into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. When you fall, don't stay down. Rise, dust yourself off, and turn back to God. He doesn't count the times we fall. He treasures the times we get back up. Here's something practical. When challenges come, take a moment to pray. Ask God, Lord, give me the grace to keep going, even when it's hard. Then take the next small step forward. Remember, it's not about how fast you go, it's about staying on the path. My friends, perseverance isn't just a virtue, it's a victory. Every time you choose to keep trying, to keep trusting, you're declaring that God's grace is bigger than any obstacle. As we come to the final tip from Saint Josemaria Escriva, we arrive at a practice that has the power to sustain all our resolutions. Examine your conscience. Imagine your soul as a garden. Throughout the day, weeds of sin and distraction can creep in, threatening the beautiful growth God desires for you. The examination of conscience is like the gardener's daily care, pulling weeds, nurturing flowers, and ensuring that your heart remains a place where God's love can flourish. Saint Josemaria Escriva describes this practice as essential, saying, examination of conscience, a daily task. Bookkeeping is never neglected by anyone in business. And is there any business worth more than the business of eternal life? There are two parts to this practice. The first is the general examination, where we reflect on the entire day. Ask yourself, how did I love today? Where did I fall short? Did I seek God's presence in my actions? It's not about condemnation. It's about clarity and renewal. The second is the particular examination, which focuses on one specific area of growth. Maybe you struggle with patience, or you're striving to deepen your prayer life. By honing in on one virtue or habit, you make steady, intentional progress. Saint Josemaria beautifully calls this our sword, saying, the general examination implies defense. The particular attack. This practice isn't just about looking back. It's about moving forward. It's an opportunity to invite God into your weaknesses and ask for His strength. And the best part? It can be done in just a few quiet moments at the end of your day. As you examine your conscience, imagine Jesus sitting beside you, not to judge, but to guide and encourage. He knows your struggles, your efforts, and your heart's deepest desires. Trust in His mercy, and let this daily reflection be a time of grace, a chance to reset and begin again. The examination of conscience is a gift that keeps us rooted in God's love and attentive to His call. Let it be your anchor as you navigate the year ahead. Dear brothers and sisters, as we embark on this new year, let us carry these 6 tips from Saint Josemaria Escriva in our hearts. Be clear and definite. Avoid procrastination. Focus on a few realistic goals. Embrace humility. Persevere through challenges. And examine your conscience daily. These aren't just resolutions. They're steps toward a deeper relationship with God, a journey of transformation, one small step at a time. As we look ahead to 2025, I pray that your year is filled with grace, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose in Christ. Let's support each other in this journey of faith. After all, we are walking together toward the same eternal home. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who might need this message today. Check out our other videos for more inspiration and tools to grow in holiness. Thank you for spending this time with me. And as always, I'll see you in our next video. God bless, and Happy New Year.